of the FM 106.5 radio, HL radio and TV station here in Arlington, Texas. And today we're sitting in the office of inside the brand new magnificent building, the Arlington ISD Dipert Career and Technical Center, CTC. And it's an honor to interview the principal, Mrs. Ginger Polster, about the center. So, hello, Mrs. Principal Ginger Polster. How are you today?
I'm doing great today. Thank you for asking. We've had a very exciting day so far. We've had Sherman ISD visit us today. We've had some students from Workman Junior High that were here earlier today, and we've got tours planned all week.
Wow, look like you're busy already. Yeah. So, okay, could you tell our listener about your background?
Absolutely. This is my 22nd year in education. I graduated from Tarleton State University with a bachelor's and a master's degree in ag education. I was a career and technical education teacher for 11 years and an elementary assistant principal for 3 years. I moved into central office as an administrator for career and technical education and served as a specialist and coordinator for 6. And then this is our first year to be open, but actually I'm starting my second year as principal of the Career and Technical Center.
So the Technical Center is open just a few months ago, right? And you've been prepared for that before that, right?
I've been involved in the project since the bond passed May of 2014, and yes, we opened to students for the very first time August 23rd of 2017. So it's been a little over 3 years in the making to get to this point.
Yes, I remember that time when the the campaign for the bond, and I believe Mr. Michael Crosby, right? One of the those who campaigned for this bond package. And if I recall, the bond package is a pretty large amount. It's about a few $100 million, right?
Yes, sir. The bond package in total was $663 million for our district. It was one of the largest that's ever been passed in Tarrant County. But what the bond package has allowed the district to do is to build buildings like this, as well as others, to provide a unique learning experience for our students so that they can easily transition from graduating from high school directly into the workforce or going to college.
And also the bond package, I believe, also cover a lot of other development and also renovation of the current schools in the district, and also buying equipment and uniform for all sort of things that I could recall back then.
Yes, that is correct. So the bond package is not only about facilities. They've updated transportation for students to be able to get the school buses to get to and from, uniforms for fine art, band, orchestra, choir, as well as they've added STEM labs to all of our elementary campuses, which has been a really unique experience for them because they've not had that opportunity. They've not had the spaces in order to do those STEM type activities prior to the bond package being passed.
So yeah, we already seen some of the effect of the bond package here, especially the school today, and also some other schools that also expanded their programs, like the Workman High School, right, nearby here, and many others. So I'm glad that that the bond package passed, and we got a very, very good benefit for our students in this district.
That's what I tell everybody. I grew up in a small farming community, but my kids have gone through the Arlington School District, and the opportunities that our students have today did not exist prior to the bond package. So the things, and this is pre-K through 12th, and so the opportunities that they now have never existed prior to the bond package. So without the bond package, it would be very, very hard for our district to be doing what they're doing today. And so it has driven curriculum and instruction, and it's just provided the support and the opportunities to students that otherwise would not exist.
So in summary, the tax money well spent.
Absolutely tax money well spent. I'm a taxpayer myself. I live here in Arlington, and it's absolutely money well spent. Our students are thriving, and they are benefiting from it. Each and every day they come to school, and they're very appreciative of what they have. And oftentimes they'll say, I can't believe the district has spent this kind of money to provide opportunities for us. So they're very, very proud of what they have, and they do recognize the support of the community and of the taxpayers because they're getting to use that support every single day.
Yeah, all of us sitting here, we are the benefits of the education. So the education for our children and grandchildren always in the top of the list of our life. So I'm glad that today we're sitting here in this magnificent building here, and look to it. I kind of a little bit jealous. And then when I was in school, there's nothing closer to this.
Right. We have about 170,000 square feet here under roof, and we have 15 different program areas as far as like career clusters. There's 18 different academies. And it ranges from, agriculture science with horticulture and floral design to audio video to automotive and welding. Health science is huge here. Engineering, architecture design. We have fire academy, police academy, our culinary and cosmetology. There is something for everyone here. It is a wide range of program opportunities, and what we're noticing with a lot of our students, they're actually doubling up. They're taking 2 different programs of study while they're with us. So you may have a kid that's in welding, but they may also be in marketing or entrepreneurship, and it's because they want to go to work, maybe own their own business one of these days. And so not only do they have that skill set to go, okay, I'm going to be a welder, but also have that business background about how do I keep records and how do I market myself to put myself out there so that I can support myself.
That's wonderful. So back a little bit, so could you kind of briefly tell us about the mission and the purpose of the center?
Mm-hmm. So the purpose of the center is we serve primarily juniors and seniors, and our goal for them is to receive workforce credentials, whether that's a certificate of completion from Tarrant County College. We partner with them for workforce dual credit, an industry certification that industry has designed, or licensed by the state of Texas. And our job is to help bridge the gap from the time they graduate to go directly into the workforce or college. So it's a seamless transition for them. So not only do we give them the hard skills that they need to know, those hands-on skills, and then the certifications and the credentials that go with that, but we also prepare them for those what we call soft skills, which are how do you interview, how do you shake hands, how do you dress appropriately, what does it look like to show up on time for work and ready. And so we incorporate all of that, so when students walk across the stage with their high school diploma, they know what their next step is and how they're going to get there.
So I understand that you just mentioned earlier that the center occupies an area approximately 169,800 square feet to serve approximately 4,700 students from AISD school system. And the center has about 68 junior and senior career technical education courses and 27 industry certifications. And the center is also home for 44 teachers across 15 career clusters. So could you tell us more details about the different career cluster that you mentioned earlier a little bit before, but some more?
Right. And so it's a national model. There's 16 career clusters that are known nationally. We have 15 of those here. The only one we do not have, and the reason we don't have it is because it's a really small cluster, and it's about the government side of some things. But the 15 career clusters that we have are agricultural science, we have business, we have marketing, manufacturing, finance, arts, audio, video, communications, we have hospitality, we have human services, we have health science, we have STEM, which is engineering and biomedical science. And so we have it all. And so there is, we have a business college culture. So just like a student would go to a college or even to a community college and earn a minor in something or a major in something, they can kind of do the same thing here and start with us. So they take all their core academic classes at their home campuses, and then they come out to us for specialized programming and training in those different career cluster areas.
So back in when they were back at their main school attending,
right?
And how do they enter this kind of program? Do they talk to their counselors and what kind of advice from the counselor and so on?
We actually start the process when they're in 8th grade. We have a class that every 8th grader in the district takes, and what the 8th graders do as part of that class is they take a career interest assessment to determine what do they like to do and what are those, they recognize their own personal skills. So based on that information, students then start choosing careers and career pathways or career clusters. And from there, they start developing their 4-year plan. What do I need to take my freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year to reach those goals and those things that I like? And so we actually start planning that in 8th grade. Since we primarily serve juniors and seniors, the students actually take their prerequisite courses, what we consider foundational CTE courses at their home campuses their freshman and sophomore year. And then when they're in 10th grade, going to 11th, they visit with their counselor, their high school counselor, and they start looking at what prerequisites they have taken and then what advanced level coursework they want to do. And they simply just request a course, just like they would math or English or science or anything else. And so they sign up. We have a few that are special programs where they have to apply for practicums and things like that, where we have a limited number of seats and they're actually going to go out and work with the public. We want to make sure it's a good fit.
So basically, in that the student will be kind of tested or and advise whether they would like to choose the vocational career to through this school here, or to go continue after high school, continue to college level, right?
That is correct. And so our counselors here work very closely with the high school counselors to make sure that those students, if they are interested in a particular program, to make sure that they're registered for it. Just like in college, you go online and you pick your classes that you want. They do the same thing here. They can sign up for the classes they want that matches their career interest and their career goals. And then we provide the supports to make sure that they get the necessary training they need so they can go on after high school.
So could you talk about the programs that provided by the center and opportunities for students upon completion of this program? Certainly they after completion they get a certificate, and how can they enter the job market?
Okay, that's a really good question. And so for us, it's not just, we can skill them up and we can give them all the credentials that they've earned, but we also have to connect them to business and industry. So we're working right now on a college and career fair that we will have this spring, where we will bring in employers, and we will actually have those students with resumes completed and things like that. Carrie Winter, who is our practicum specialist, also that helps us connect those students with credentials back to the workforce. And so we have some things here that we've put in place to make that connection for the students. And we also work with partners from UTA and TCC. We have the Go Center, which is another support where students can go in there, get resume help and things like that. And then we advertise to local businesses to let them know that we have graduates that are coming out and what their credentials are, and then we invite them over to visit with the students and start that interview process.
So do you do the job fair here in the center or somewhere else?
We'll do it here in the center. We're looking at this coming April, and since we just opened, this will be the first time that we do this. But just like other corporations have job fairs all the time, we'll kind of do the same thing, but we're going to have it here and bring in different employers who are looking for employees, and we'll host that here on our campus.
So could you tell us, are there any differences between the career and technical programs provided by the center here and those by other technical centers like the John Dubinsky Technical Center, or of Grand Prairie ISD, or the Ben Barber Career Technical Center in Mansfield?
So some of the programs that we have here are similar to programs that they have at the other career centers as well. But then we have some things that are different. For example, we have cosmetology here where Ben Barber does not. So those are unique opportunities. Our Fire Academy and Police Academy are very unique to us. And so we offer some different types of programming. Some is, are similar. But one of the big differences between our campuses is the students actually stay enrolled at their home campus and come out to us for specialized programming. So at Dubisky, the students have to go there all the time. So that is their home campus. But so as far as doing extracurricular activities like fine arts and athletics and things like that, the students who attend Dubisky do not have that same opportunity. Whereas our students here, because they're still enrolled at their home campus and travel back and forth, they can still participate in all those extracurricular activities that they want to. And then Ben Barber's a little bit different. They kind of have a blended high school. They have pulled all of their CTE classes, even their 9th and 10th grade classes, to their center. And then they also have a high school called Frontier High School that's part of their center. So whereas we're not, our students remain enrolled, and it's allowed us to be able to use every single space that we have here for career and technical education courses and programs. And so it was about utilizing space and utilizing facilities and maximizing opportunities for students. And so ours is structured a little bit different, and we do have some different programs than the other two do.
So basically the center here is basically a lab, for the students to come to practice what they learn from their home campus.
That is correct. And so let's use culinary, for example. They would take Introduction to Culinary at their home campus, either their freshman or sophomore year. Then they would come to us their junior year for Culinary 1 and their senior year for Culinary 2. But at the same time, they still get to participate in all their home campus activities, whether it's homecoming or fine arts or cheerleading or band, whatever it is that they want to do. They still have the opportunity to do that. They can still do all those student leadership organizations like Student Council or Key Club, but at the same time have access and opportunities for other career interests with us.
So how do you coordinate about the students coming from various schools? For instance, do you have the same class for various students from various high school in the area? For instance, culinary, and you would have a group of students come here to study culinary, and that group combined, from like the other schools around here?
Yes, that is correct. So all of our classes are blended here, which means we have students from all 6 campuses that could be in one class. So we don't have any classes that are just, let's say, for Sam Houston students or just for Bowie students. All of our students are mixed.
So you have some from John Houston and some for Bowie and some
from Arlington High. We have them from all 6 campuses, and we blend them all together. And the students have really, really enjoyed that because they're getting to meet different people that they haven't always gone to school with. And so that's been a unique learning experience for them as well. And a lot of times the students, there may be something going on at the home campus. Well, they can just leave it at the home campus and come out here, and gives them a break from whatever drama may be going on at their home campus, and so they really, really enjoy that.
That's my next question is that sometimes there's a kind of rivalry, sports rivalry between high school together.
Yeah, actually, we've not seen that here. We do have some rivalries in Arlington, but when the kids come out here, they are great with each other, and they don't bring any animosity. There's not any, well, I'm not going to talk to that person because they're from a particular school. They don't see school, they don't see color, they don't see ethnicity or background or economic status. They just see each other as co-learners in the space, loving the same thing.
Wonderful, that'd be wonderful. So yeah, you did touch earlier about the coordinated programs between the center and the colleges, just as TCC or UTA.
Yeah, we have several different programs where the students can either do high school only credit, or they can go through our dual credit program. And right now we have 17 different options for workforce dual credit. The ones that the students most frequently sign up for are culinary, automotive, welding, and game and simulation. And we offer those programs here on our campus, so the students who are in those classes actually get high school and college credit.
Okay, the next question I'd like to have is could you explain the process for students to apply to special programs like the practicums, in other words, the internship? This is the first time I've heard about that word.
Yeah.
In the Fire Academy and the Police Academy, understanding that for the year 2018 and 2019 in the progress. So could you tell us what are the requirements for the interested students?
Yeah, so we have several different practicum or internship programs, and each one of those has unique qualifications. But like for police and fire, the first thing a student does is they complete an application. And then from that application process, the selection committee, they look at their grades, their attendance, their discipline. They look at courses that they've taken that help support those particular programs. In the case of fire and police, they actually have to do a physical agility test to see, can you physically do the job? There's an interview part to it. There's teacher recommendations. And so the first step for any student is just to apply. And then the second step is when the committee for each program area, they have a rubric that they follow, and then based on those top scoring students, they then pull those students in to do face-to-face interviews. And then ultimately the business partners or the fire department or the police department, they're the ones that make those final selection, because that's who's going to be working with that student directly.
So basically that they do have to go through the kind of selection process.
It is a very rigorous selection process. And the reason we want to do that, first of all, we have a limited number of seats. But the second thing is we want to make sure we're good partners with our business and industry people. If we have a student that's applied but they're not really ready for that kind of responsibility, we are not doing ourselves any favors by putting a student in a situation where A, they're not prepared for, they're not really ready. And then if it doesn't work out, then we've had an employer that's also wasted time and money for a student that wasn't the right fit. So we want to make sure before we ever put a student into a specialized program or into a practicum opportunity that they're ready, they've got the responsibility behind them, and they're ready because they're going to be working with the public. And so we have to make sure that that's the right student with the right business.
And they're ready.
Then they're ready, absolutely.
On the job, the day one.
Yes, yes.
So now, could you tell us then how do you envision the center in the future, and will there be any additional programs and more enrollment for the students?
So something that we do every year, the answer to that question is yes. So we anticipate an increase in enrollment, and then we will add programs based on industry demand and student interest. And so that is something that we look at each and every year based on what does enrollment look like for each program. And then based on business and industry, is there something that's changing out there that we need to be aware of? Because if we offer programs here that there's not industry demand for, then we are doing a disservice to the students. So we have to make sure that what we're doing here aligns with what the business and industry world is wanting, as far as a talent pipeline and future employees and things like that. So that's something that we do every year. This building was built in mind that it could be expanded if we needed to expand later on if enrollment continues to increase.
Yes. And so the next question is that look like the every day there's progress made in the center. So when will the dedication ceremony for the center be?
We just scheduled the date the other day, but our official dedication ceremony is going to be on February the 10th at 10 o'clock, and it'll be here on site, so it's on a Saturday. But we anticipate a large crowd, and we're planning right now for that big event.
Wonderful, and hope you can send me the invitation.
Absolutely.
So do you have any other thoughts you would like to share with our listeners before we conclude our interview?
We all feel we have a very unique staff here, and a lot of them are not from traditional teaching backgrounds, but they came from industry. But the one common thing that all of our teachers have is passion for young people. And they truly have a vested interest in them, and it shows each and every day with the work that they do with them. And so I speak for myself, but I think everybody that works here, we just feel truly blessed to have this opportunity to work with young people and to hopefully provide them the support and an avenue for them to be able to be successful as they transition and graduate from high school.
So we would like to thank you very much for spending your time for the interview. And we also would like to thank Ms. Carrie Winter sitting across me right now. Ms. Winter is a practicum specialist, and also the teachers that I've had the opportunity to meet during the tour in the center last month. Very impressive. Looking at the center from the outside, it's almost exactly like the copy of the rendition that I received from Mr. Peter Barron and Dr. Aaron Reich about 2 years ago. And we appreciate that they stopped by my office 2 years ago and presented me with the rendition, and looked very impressive. I'm very glad about that. So we hope that we will be back in the future to get updates about the center.
Absolutely, that sounds great. You're welcome anytime, and our door is always open.
Thank you, and God bless.